this is another episode of Candace Michelle Views, where I give my opinion on what I am viewing on any main media stream platform that you could think of. So today I'm gonna go over Bill Gates. He's been in the media. He has split with his wife after 27 years. Ironically, obviously, they choose these numbers for a reason. Added together, you know what number you end up getting. But as you can see, his face, it doesn't look like something that is naturally aging. If you look around the eyes, take a really good look around the eyes, you can see it's a way lighter look, and then it's like a lot of puffy stuff going on. So you could just tell that it's like a lot of buildup going on over here. It's like a lump, like a little bit of a glitch right here. So I believe people have already spoken about his wife, Melinda. Shout out to Conscious X. I believe he had done a video on Melinda, exposing that, possibly, well, in his opinion, she is Robin Williams. And as we know, Robin Williams has passed away. They had a lot of scandals about him before he passed away, of him, losing his mind, I believe, and having drugs or some type of alcoholism issue. And then I believe he committed suicide. But most likely he just transitioned on playing Mrs. Doubtfire in real life. If you look at the hairline, kind of matches and everything else. It's just a buildup going on. So, this is not about them. Shout out to Conscious S. If you want to go check out that, you could go, look at their page. But since these people came up in the media, I realized that they definitely have faces of other characters, just with their actual face on top of it. If that makes any sense. So the face structure is not the same, but the actual face is the same, which means they are actually having the Bill Gates that we know of, mask, having mask, and people are actually putting on and playing his role. And one of the people that I believe played the role is the guy from Harry Potter. His name is David, I believe. David, well, hopefully I'll get to his name. If you really take a good look, they have the exact facial structure. Just like as you can see here, it's like something about her, even though her eyes are a different color than his. You can just literally see inside that something is going on. And so I feel the same way about the boy that plays Harry Potter. Okay, they are both very big, have very big platforms in the world. Harry Potter, the guy that played it, his name is Daniel Jacob Radcliffe. I don't know much about him, but I did realize that the facial features are just there. We're gonna get into that. So yeah, you can see he's definitely part of the game. If you're going to be a part of a big franchise like Harry Potter, I believe that you had to, definitely sign some type of major deals, to get to this point. And as you can see in the background, he's making sure he shows that he definitely is part of the game. So the lady that wrote Harry Potter is Joanne Rowling. Just wanted to show her, obviously for obvious reasons, redhead. I'm not shocked about that. I feel like it's an indication for, homage to Lucy. I believe they're all faces. She was known for, let her tell it. I don't know if she was like, I believe she's educated, but, let her tell it. She was just smoking marijuana, sitting around, and ended up, writing all these books that turned into then the big book, Harry Potter, that led into the movies and the series. And she went on to becoming a billionaire. So sitting on her couch, smoking marijuana, up until now becoming a billionaire. And if you look into her story, you can see that it's very much coded, which means that this person is just most likely a character, a face, and they just want to push these stories. They like to have these stories being told. It's a biblical story. She didn't come up with this story about Harry Potter. The Harry Potter is more of a decoded movie. Most big productions are big decoded movies of eventing history in different ways. They are telling it, their story over and over. The people that are here, and we're gonna get to all that. So yeah, so as she stated, she lived for books, and she started writing her first book at the age of 6. I just wanted to point that out because, as I stated, a lot of these ages is always the same. It's always 6 or 9 or 11 or 13. These are important numbers to them. 23, things like that, 33, 30, 69, anyway, we could go on and on, but obviously it's because it's a cycling number, 3, 6, 9, and things like that. So and you could think of it like age. When you turn 12, you're going to be 13, so 12 is an important number and equals 3. When you turn 30, you're like literally consider yourself old now. 60, you're thinking about dying. So these are cycle numbers. So yeah, and as I stated, she said something about also writing a book about a rabbit. These are coded. She also wrote a book about cursed diamonds. So I mean, this is just like a coded story all around the board. And she also had a quote stating, "It's fair to say that us potheads have plenty of time on our hands to pour over." No, we don't. Last time I checked, marijuana is at an all-time high cost. And they're actually now selling it in stores by the ounce with tax. So yeah, they don't have a lot of time. They have to work so they can afford that habit. But maybe she was lucky enough to be part of some type of family where her sitting on a couch and being a pothead is a different version of my idea of sitting around being a pothead. But yeah, she probably had a family that was able to take care of her well, or she made it seem like she did, and she came from decent living. But when she made it big was when she made the Harry Potter book, which then made her a billionaire, which is the connection somewhere near where I'm getting this billionaire, and the connection of her main character. I know you guys, sometimes you don't get the connections of what I make when I do these twins. In my opinion, the same person, but if not, then related, a part of the same hive. Definitely in the game of manipulation and deception, and distraction. A lot of distraction, because a lot of people don't even realize that they're being distracted. So for them to make plans and right underneath your nose, and then you'll be gone, and he'll be smiling like this, that you're gone. So yeah, if you take a look, I'm thinking same person, or if not, then what are they related? Are they cousins, first cousins, brothers, his uncle? Or maybe is he wearing a build-up with, definitely not real hairline, not their real hair. This is his real hair. This is his real situation. And then here goes a build-up look. It looks very cheesy, very leathery. The hairline never looks right. As you can see, the outlines of their facial structure and their eyes is really matching. I wouldn't be surprised if they had him go on to playing this role. And he's most likely a descendant because they're all in the same game on high platforms, and they're most likely from the same bloodline. And anyway, so Bill Gates, he's no stranger to being a part of the 1%. I believe he was born into it, and he did get arrested at the age of 18, 189, which equals 9. In Albuquerque, Mexico. I believe it has something to do with like a marijuana drug deal. So that's there to show you that this guy's not really no big techie. Doubt it. It looks like he was more into being, a part of probably Albuquerque. It's a lot of meth going on from what I hear with shows that I've watched. It was a really good show, Breaking Bad, I believe. But I don't know what his deal was there. Pretty much was probably doing everything And he got right out. They don't really get in trouble. And just to see that Bill Gates was hanging out with then Barack Obama, and I believe this is funny how they say Michael Obama. That's hilarious. Maybe his last name should be Obama, since he always is screaming out Michael in the gardens and in his little interviews. Maybe his last name should be, or because he has been mentioning that name a lot, so that's where the speculations are coming from. And I wouldn't be surprised if the speculations that they say are all the stories are accurate, because what is these people doing together at such a young age? This guy that's from Chicago, blah, 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 fake character. This guy, real name is Barry Sartoro. His character is BARRACKOBOM. As you can see right here, I don't like to say as much because who knows if they get mad if you just say the name. So yeah, this is the character. His real person is, he's connected. Sartoro, he's always been apart. And then they infiltrate him in Chicago with this Hussein blah 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 name. It's definitely a play off of his characters and his storyline that I have not came across, but everyone has outed his characters already. So yeah, they're all players of the game. They like to get arrested and have scandals all over the place. He's now old guy, and they're putting his name out there. His name is William Henry Gates III. I believe that's hilarious. An American businessman. I doubt he's from America. Most of these people that's just very successful, they infiltrated here. And I'm not talking about like the stories they gave. The stories went way different than what they are advising. And I think that that's common sense, because most of the holidays and the stories that we have are false. And they'll be like, oh, well, it's false. So I hope you guys understand that a lot of these other stories that are telling you that they're not saying it's true. They're just saying it's history. So yeah, it may be their version of history. So we can respect it. Can I give a book out? Because this is why I do these videos. I have my own opinion. I would like to have my own history book. And I do have my own, situation like that. I've always had my, where I have videos of the signature book. Is where you write your own information, and, you listen, you hear about, all these people that they say is so important in history. I feel like everyone's very important to their own family and their history. So have your book, right? Look into the video, and it gives all the details. Just to have forever someone, when someone's gone, all you have left is that signature book with their stories and their little collages. I think you're appreciated way more than what anybody else could give. Things like that will be cherishable. But anyway, yeah, so the history of these people are, they're giving him a little bit of a diabolical name now. Yeah, we'll get into what he has been accusing of, and it's out of his own mouth.
It's mostly about vaccines and seeds, about the things that we need to invent and deliver to help the poor.
Okay, sorry about that. That was weird. I don't know how that happened. I think because I tried to press the button to turn the volume on. Okay. Sorry about that.
That we need to invent and deliver to help the poorest 2 billion live better lives.
Okay, this is not usually what happens here. I don't know why it keeps falling down. Sorry about that. I do it this way because I prefer the video to be bigger. When I do it through my phone, the video comes out a little small. And then also I want to make sure that things are taping as well.
About vaccines and seeds.
About
the things that we need to invent and deliver to help the poorest 2 billion live better lives. But energy and climate are extremely important to these people. In fact, more important than to anyone else on the planet. The climate getting worse means that many years their crops won't grow. There'll be too much rain, not enough rain. Things will change in ways that their fragile environment simply can't support. And that leads to starvation, it leads to uncertainty, it leads to unrest. So the climate changes will be terrible for them. Also, the price of energy is very important to them. In fact, if you could pick just one thing to lower the price of to reduce poverty, by far you would pick energy. Now, the price of energy has come down over time. Really.
And did I tell you it's all about energy, the free energy? He's going to be literally talking about the energy through the whole time. And as he says, it's not even that expensive, and the energy is very important. But yet he's complaining about other things, and you'll see, wow, let's just continue.
Advanced civilization is based on advances in energy. The coal revolution fueled the industrial revolution, and even in the 1900s, we've seen a very rapid decline in the price of electricity. But as we make it cheaper, and let's go for making it twice as cheap, we need to meet a new constraint. And that constraint has to do with CO2. CO2 is warming the planet. Negative effects. A certain increase in CO2 times. Do we really have to get down to near zero? Can't we just, cut it and just sort of squeeze under? This is something that has to get to zero. Now, we put out a lot of carbon dioxide every year, over 26 billion tons. For each American, it's about 20 tons. For people in poor countries, it's less than 1 ton. It's an average about 5 tons.
You see the coded of the CO2, which is C is 3, the 2 that's 23, which is 33.
Only various economic changes that have even flattened it at all. So we have to go from rapidly rising to falling and falling all the way to zero. This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the service.
Okay, just pay attention to this part, okay? This is where he gets diabolical at. So he's basically saying that CO2 is making the global warming to a point where societies are going to have, and as you can hear, he's saying they. Let's rewind that.
The foundation is mostly about vaccines and seeds, about the things that we need to invent and deliver to help the poorest 2 billion live better lives. But energy and climate are extremely important to these people.
To these people. We got to provide this to these people. So you hear what he's saying, okay?
In fact, more.
And not just saying Africans. He's just saying people in the world. So he's saying that we're responsible for these people in the world.
In the 1900s, we've seen a very rapid decline.
And now he's saying that he needs the CO2 to be absolutely zero because of the atmosphere is causing like certain communities to not grow crops because it's too much rain or it's not enough rain. And I mean, the world is so big that it sounds like bull crap excuses to try to put this into action to figure out how to make one of these things become to a 0%. But this is, and then the way he says it, he advises like, oh, it'll be bad for it. It seems like it's not that certain. They think they'll let you know. And then obviously he's doing, if you can see how he's holding up his hands. Okay? Through the whole conversation, and then when he says certain things, he does the pyramid with his hands. Okay? So he says certain things and then he shows the pyramid because they have to, it's like a coding thing where they have to tell certain things. And then now when you get into this point where he's saying that they have to get this to zero, look at the categories of what he wants to get to zero. Look at the categories that he wants to get to zero. People, services for per person, the energy that people are using, and the amount of CO2, which I think is like carbon, what you breathe out per unit or whatever, or the energy you're using, I guess.
Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero.
People are a category. That's why people are laughing.
But let's take a look.
That's why people are laughing. They're like, it's laughter because he said one of these things have to get to zero, but people are a category. So they think it's funny that because they're saying they, not them, they're not considering them. And he's going to say at some point, we. And then he's going to say the 1% billion. So we're going to get to that point. We're going to get to the point where he says we. He's coded out in this whole video.
Even perhaps a factor of 7.
So let's go to the people. Let's just see the people. You're going to have to listen to the whole thing on your own.
Billion, we probably could cut back.
Good.
Using on average. But as we make it cheaper, and let's go for making it twice as cheap, we need to meet a new constraint. Factors. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about...
And 6.8 billion is what? 6 times 6.8 in algebra. 6 point is multiplication with a point. 6.8, 6 times 8 is 42. 42, 4 plus 2 is 6. And small, you know, if you put it to the smallest format in algebra, if you go left or right, that's what you end up getting. But it's coded through the whole thing. We're going to continue to go.
Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare.
Did you hear that? If he does a really good job on new vaccines, healthcare, and reproductive health services to make this population 0.
9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
My Lord. But lower what? Lower that. Do you know what that is? Do you know what he said? We could lower that. Do you know what that is?
There we see an increase of about 1.3. The second factor is the services we use. This encompasses everything. The food we eat, clothing, TV.
Why is he using this person for every picture? Why is it this specific person? This is not a person from America. This is not. They could be in America, but their descendant is not from America. Why are they specifically using these pictures of these
heating,
people?
These are very good things.
The whole time.
Getting rid of poverty means providing these services to almost everyone on the planet. And it's a great thing for this number to go up. In the rich world, perhaps the top 1 billion, we probably could cut back.
Did you catch that?
And use less. But services to planet. And it's a for this number to go up. In the rich world,
perhaps the top 1 billion, these are the people I'm talking about. These are the ones, I don't care what name you're using. These people that we're talking about, the ones that's representing, that's stolen still and is scamming to be this at this point.
Well, perhaps the top 1 billion, we probably could.
He's saying they, them, and the top 1 billion, the rich, the rich in the world, the top 1 billion, we. So he's in there discussing with a lot of important people, I guess, or people that if the people in the crowd aren't the we, he's considering him and whoever the we, the rich billion, the 1%. Okay, I think I'm done with that. And let's be honest.
The foundation.
Let's be honest. Everything is coded. He went on and on with numbers in there, and as you can see in his license is 105, which is 6, then 516, then 9, that's 669, and then 1, 2 down here, and 13, 3 and 13, they like that number, and 7, 7, 777, 3, 7, that's 21. That's why it's like in the lottery. That's where they really scammed us at with lottery and the casinos and things like that. You should never use your money there. I like to go hang out, but you know, it is always built to most likely them to be on the winning end. So yeah, anyway, yeah, so we see what kind of situation is going here. Let's just wrap this up. Like I said, he's just a picture guy. This guy that's getting locked up for whatever, he's not doing all these great things. He's just a picture. He's just a photo guy. If you're born into whatever he's born into, they're not extinct. They get directions. When you go to a job, it seems hard until you learn. They give you direction. It's very easy to do whatever you need to do when you got all the directions that have been here forever with all the free energy information. They built pyramids and all kinds of things. They had all kinds of things from the 1600s and back in the days. If you look at, I'll probably try to tag the page where he goes into history of the Tataria history in America. People have always been here originally. So yeah, he's just the face. Look at him. He's just photo opping. Look at him photo opping. He didn't do anything. Look, it's like a joke. They got pictures of him rolling around mad, a lot of computers. He didn't do anything. He didn't figure anything out. He just posing around it, you know.
I'm here to a wired autocomplete. The climate getting worse means that many years their crops won't grow. There'll be too much rain, not enough rain. Things will change in ways that their fragile environment simply can't support. Hey, everybody, I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm here to do a wired autocomplete interview. So the climate changes will be terrible for them. Also,
I feel like I see a great resemblance. I believe that he was very masky, even when telling this.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm here to do a wired autocomplete interview. We need to meet a new constraint, and that constraint has to do with... Hey, everybody, I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm here to do a wired autocomplete interview. Hey, everybody, I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm here to do a wired... Zero. Can't we just, cut it and just sort of squeeze under? This is something that has to get... Hey, everybody, I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm here to do a wired...
Yeah, so, I don't know. This is just my opinion. I believe that it's just a lot of it's just like a lot of stuff going on with this guy, and it looks like that he could definitely be under all of that because of the facial features on top of it is just showing out. You'll be shocked and surprised how they'll probably have other people playing the role because I believe they did change as I showed you his face. I showed you pictures. It seems like it's a different person every time. Yeah, this is even his nose looks very different here. If you guys can see, it's like very different. He has a lot of lips here, no lips here. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. Even this guy right here, he had a wig on. Like this, he's been a character from day one. Who knows how many people has been playing this role? But now they got the mask, as you can see, like the neck and everything. Like you see how his regular neck, and then you got these necks that just go straight from the chin up because it's like a lot of room there. There's nothing they could really do about the necks. It always look flappy, you know. So yeah, we're gonna just because if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's definitely a connection with the writer and the Billionaires Club. Like he said, it's a small club.
Down his hair, putting in bobby pins and then applying what we call a wig.
And I just want you to show you how this is even a long time ago. This is Miss Delphia, his wife, allegedly, you know, and look how they could easily just, if he wants, turn him into a female, but his facial features will still be, even though they are changed him into Miss Delphia. If you looked into Miss Delphia's face and eyes, you could clearly see that it was him. But if you're not paying any attention and you don't care about someone, you would never say, oh, that's I know who that is. Just like if somebody was playing Santa Claus, like a lot of people would know who Santa Claus was. But if Santa Claus was your brother or husband or somebody you knew, you'd be like looking into his face and like I know who you are, you know, like because you don't have to worry about the disguise they have on when you could look into their eyes and know that person. So some celebrities is when you come across one that you really know, and then maybe if we could match it up to someone, if possibly they're playing another role, and you will finally understand what's going on because that person that you know, and then if they are playing a new role, you'll immediately see it. And that's what is going on with a lot of these videos that we do or what I do. Yeah, so as you can see, as I told you, with the build-up, this is what the build-up I've always been talking about. It seems like sometimes they can have other things, maybe as of right now, way easier than this. Has to be something upgraded. They just show you stuff and act like, oh, you know, this is what's going on, but they're not going to give you the real deets. They never really do. So that's all I have. The intention is to cancel them. Did you hear what he wanted to do and try to get 0% of, you know, look into that interview and see why we're trying to cancel them all. Stop the influences of listening to anything they have to say. And you know what? If you do want to listen to them, just make sure that you're listening to them to do the opposite, because that would be the right thing to do, in my opinion. So I'm going to have a good night. I hope you guys do too. Like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you are canceling them. No celebrity worshiping on my page. Please leave the comments and those kind of personalities off. It's plenty of pages where they're giving all the information and deets of the celebrities, keeping up with them, like the Kardashians. I'm not keeping up with them. I am giving you the scandals and the scams of the level ups and why they're where they're at and how weird it can really get, and how most of these people are being related or just being produced out of a factory or some type of, not really, but really out of probably a factory. They said a lot of girls are missing from New York and New Jersey. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like some Tales Made situation that Kylie was promoting. They tell you the truth all the time. They pop up with these kids. They say they're having them, and then next thing you know, like I believe Chloe now is looking for a surrogate. They'll act like they're having kids, and then next thing you know, they're looking for a surrogate. What happened to having the kids? You're having them, right? But then it's like, oh, let me opt to just have someone else have it. So that's what you guys are really doing. They're just having these so-called kids that they're having. I don't know how they're doing it, but I don't think they're having it. But just so you won't question that this is an all-boys club. This is an all-boys club, okay? Mostly, if there is any females, they're most likely witches, born into it, really probably get down and dirty for them to even consider them to be a part of this all boys club, secret society. Don't tell anyone. It's for the greater good of our family only. And like he said, if we're lucky, we could get it down to 10 to 13% of population. If we have great whatever he said, okay? I didn't say it. He said it. Or maybe he said it. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Good night.